Hello and happy Wednesday, world travelers. Miss Jules here. I am here back again to take you to another country today. I really hope that you enjoyed visiting Portugal the first week and Italy with Miss Rosie last week. Today, we have another new country, which I'm very excited to tell you all about. If you have gotten your first activity kit, now is a great time to grab out your passport, your color in map, and your travel journal. You don't have to have them during the video, but I will give you instructions on what to do with them afterwards. So if you want to do that, pause the video, go grab that stuff, and come back. Anything you need to go traveling to a new country, go ahead and go get it, and then we'll start. So I'm going to do something very similar I did last time when I was with you all for Portugal. I'm going to share my screen with you. All right, let's go. Okay, just gonna move myself too so you don't see my face talking to you the whole time. All right. Let's get going. I'm also going to turn down our volume so it's easier to talk and everybody to hear. So, hola, hello. Any guesses as to where we might be traveling today? I know I can't hear all of you, but I would love it if you would shout out wherever you are watching this, what country you think we might be visiting. A little hint for you, it is a Spanish speaking country and we don't live too far from it. So I'll let you think of your guess. Shout it out if you want to. Tell somebody if they're standing nearby what you think, and I will show you the answer. This week, we are traveling to Mexico. I'm very curious if any of you guessed it. If you did guess it and you're correct, comment below and let me know because I would love to hear about that. This is a very basic map of Mexico, the country of Mexico. It has some of its big cities. Its capital city is Mexico City right here. And this is the flag. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the flag later on, and I have a really cool worksheet you can use to color it in as well. So let's get traveling. So where is Mexico exactly, you might wonder? So Mexico is on the continent of North America. That's where we are here in the United States of America. And here is Mexico, this little reddish patch here. So it's just south of the United States and it's north of Central America, which is here, as well as South America, which is here. So here we are about right in Oregon. Let's fly to Mexico and get learning. All right, we'll start with some basic facts about this country. The population is about 125,959,205 people, so quite a lot. It covers a land area. We've talked about this before. That's how much land the whole country takes up. 758,449 square miles. Oops, looks like I put square miles twice. Square miles, square miles. The capital of this country is Mexico City. And within the country of Mexico, there are 31 states. So it's kind of similar to here in the United States. We have one big country and we have 50 states within that. Now, the official first language of Mexico is Spanish. It's the most commonly spoken language in that country. But there are also indigenous languages. languages that date back a long time ago, including, I will probably say this wrong, Nahuatl, different Mayan languages, Miztec, as well as English is fairly spoken, fairly common to find in Mexico as well. Now, their currency, this is a bit of a strange big word. I don't know if you know what it means. Currency is their form of money. So we have our dollars, our quarters, our nickels. They have pesos. Now, looking at the geography of Mexico, we have a huge range. It's very diverse, it's very different across the whole country. There are many, many mountains, there are deep canyons, deserts, as well as rainforests. Mexico has one of the countries with the most biodiversity when it comes to plants and animals, which means it has a huge range of plants and animals living there. Now let's talk about the culture a little bit. Mexico has a rich artistic culture, as the creation of murals, sculpting, and jewelry making has long been made by the Mayans and Native Americans. There have been many great painters, photographers, sculptors, and muralists from Mexico. Wonder if you've ever heard of a famous artist from Mexico. Someone who I always think of is Frida Kahlo. I wonder if any of you know who that is. Sports including rodeo, bullfighting, and football, or what we often call soccer here, are very popular and taken very seriously. These are very big events and people celebrate and get excited and love and cry and scream, and it's all very exciting. Let's talk about food. Now, there are many, many different foods that the recipes have come from Mexico, and within different regions, different foods are more popular than others. Just a few that I wrote about here are tamales, which are boiled pockets of corn dough stuffed with meat and served in banana leaves. That's what this one looks like. There's enchiladas, corn or flour tortillas filled with meat, cheese, and beans, topped with a chili sauce. Do we have a picture of that on here? Oh, I don't think we do. Tostadas, which is fried tortillas served with frijoles or refried beans, cheese, meat, or seafood, and mole, a spicy sauce that is poured over meat with chocolate sometimes added. Now, they're not all pictured here, and there's some different foods in here like guacamole, chili con carne, nachos, huevos rancheros, which is popular for breakfast, many different soups. There are so many different foods from Mexico, and so many are very, very delicious. I would love if you wanted to comment what your favorite kind of Mexican food is. Now, talking about desserts and drinks, there are many actually desserts that people make in Mexico. Lots of different cookies and cakes. The tres leches cake is pictured here. Rice pudding, churros, which are pretty popular. Many of you might have tried them before. Caramel flan, which is kind of a strange rubbery texture. I've had it before, but it's not my favorite, but I do love churros. And some interesting drinks you might find in Mexico is horchata, which is pictured here. And that is rice, vanilla, cinnamon, a few different ingredients together in a drink like this. Mexican hot chocolate has cinnamon and different spices in it. Agua fresca is water mixed with fruit, lime juice, and something to sweeten it as well. Festivals and holidays. So I want to talk about two festivals and holidays in Mexico, though there are many. It does not end there. One is Cinco de Mayo. This is one we're pretty familiar with here in the US. When is it celebrated? On May 5th, where it's most largely celebrated in the state Puebla, but many states take part in the holiday. What happens on this day? There are military parades, reenactments of the Battle of Puebla, and other festivities. And why do they celebrate it? It commemorates, which means it sort of honors and remembers the Battle of Puebla in 1862 when a small Mexican army overpowered the French forces. Now, this is a holiday we sometimes mistakenly think is kind of like our 4th of July or our Independence Day, but it's actually not, and it's not a huge holiday in Mexico. Banks and different stores are open, unlike on really big holidays. So it's even though there are celebrations, it's also not an uncommon day. Now, Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is something that we're pretty familiar with here. When is it celebrated? October 31st through November 2nd, where throughout Mexico, but most largely in the central and south parts. What is it? It's a holiday that celebrates and honors the dead. Families give offerings and create altars which they decorate with bright yellow marigold flowers, photos of the departed, and their favorite foods. This is done to encourage the departed souls, so the people who have died, to come join in the celebration. It's not a sad holiday, but a celebration. These altars are often built inside their homes, and it's a very joyous, celebratory occasion. And why? Again, it's to honor and celebrate those who have died and have a celebration to bring both the dead and the living together in a joyful way. Now, I just wanted to show you these sugar skulls are pretty commonly used on altars and for Day of the Dead. This picture here on the left is what those look like sitting on an altar. This drawing here is probably close to something you've seen before. It's a pretty common image. So this is often how it's drawn, but this is more what it looks like in real life. We're getting pretty close to celebrating, or that day's coming pretty close to being celebrated as it starts on what the US celebrates as Halloween. And that's all of my slides for you. I just wanted to say thanks for visiting Mexico with us, with me. Now, don't forget to put your newest stamp in your passport, color in Mexico on your map, and write down what you learned or some cool things you thought of, or draw a picture of something that inspired you after learning about Mexico. Adios. Now, what I would like to show you all next, since we're coming up on Day of the Dead being celebrated, I would like to play you a story time. It says, The Day of the Dead, El Dia de los Muertos, a bilingual celebration. So let's all relax, maybe pause and go get a snack if you want to, and let's listen to this story.
Day of the Dead. El Dia de los
That was awesome. Let's see. I just want to stop sharing so I can see face again. Hi, I'm back. I really hope you all enjoyed that story. It's such a good book explaining what Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, is. And if you celebrate this holiday, definitely leave me a comment below this video. And I want to hear what you do, what you make for food and treats, and if you're going to this year as well. So lastly, before we go for the day, I want to show you what worksheets you're going to find in your kits. So this is your first worksheet. It's the Mexican flag, and it's a color by number, which you might be familiar with. So here it gives you a little description of what the flag looks like, as well as the colors you're going to use. Down here it lists what colors, and they are in Spanish. So if you don't know your colors in Spanish, you'll want to look up at the top at the key and find which color you're supposed to use. Then you have your little numbers in here. When you're done, it should look like this. Pretty cool. Now, once you get done with that, and of course you don't have to do it, but if you have time and you'd like to, I would love that. I also have a map that you are welcome to color. Here gives you directions on what colors to use for different parts of the map. They have the Pacific Ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, as well as the United States. You can follow these directions if you want to see what the finished product looks like, or if you want to make up your own colors, that is totally fine too. Now, another worksheet, it's not so much a worksheet, but another piece of paper you should have in your kit folder is this paper doll cutout. So right here you can see from the flag, this is from the country of Mexico, gives a few different facts. This number, I think this is a little bit old because there's definitely more people now, and we're about 125 million. What you can do is you can cut out your paper doll, and then you cut out her dress like this and fold it around her so she can wear this beautiful traditional dress. Lastly, you have a fourth worksheet, and it's a match picture and word worksheet. Now, they've given you the first example here, Mexico. They circled Mexico because it matches the picture. Now, for this one, is this a poncho, a sombrero, or a taco? This would be a great one to test your Spanish speaking skills. And it's totally okay if you don't know the answer. You can always ask someone for help or just give it your best guess. Don't forget, I love to see all of the work you guys do. So post any pictures of your worksheets or anything else that you found inspiring this week when learning about Mexico. I'd love to see how you design your passport stamp, what your country maps look like, and even your travel journals. Any comments below that you want to send, I love to read. Now, lastly, don't forget, parents, that when you comment below, you get entered in to win special prizes from the SUN program, and commenting allows us to check on who's watching, how many people are watching, so we can keep making lots of content for all of you and the community. That's it for this week. Thank you for visiting Mexico with me. Next week, Miss Rosie will be back with you for a new country. I can't wait. All right, have a great day. See you next Wednesday.